Have you noticed that we're in a sort of time-altered state, and that these short hours that have gone by have expanded to allow a lot of conversation? Don't you feel like you've been here for a day or two with all that we've... It's the leverage. It's the leverage of alignment that you're experiencing.
Starting 18 months ago, my great love left, a teacher left, and a student left. And I note today that they had to go for me to go where I'm supposed to. And on the tail end came my first home, 14 new students, and a new teacher. That new teacher told me about you. So from that perspective, thank you for inviting me through him.
Exactly what we were talking about. Exactly what we were talking about. Exactly what we were talking about.
So through that vantage point, I'm glad to be here, and I'd like to know specifically why you invited me.
To punctuate the conversation we had before you got here.
Fair play.
Well, we are all in this together, you see. And so if this gathering actually gathered before any of us got here, then all of this is understood and it is known. You see, everything that you want, everything that all of you want is in your vortex. And so when we approach you in a gathering like this, it is our intention to create an environment where it is most likely for you all to get to where you want to be. That's really the work that we are doing all of the time, whether it's in a forum like this where we are articulating through Esther, or whether we are just offering our vibrational input to what all of you are about, you see. But you could not have offered anything, what you lived. Now, whether anyone else got it or not, it was really meaningful to you because you lived it. And we've been saying for a while that words don't teach. It's only life experience that teaches. But when life experience enhances something that you are intellectually contemplating, then there can be added bonus to the understanding, you see. And so the only value, and we don't mean to diminish it, but it really is the only value of a teacher like ourselves in a format like this, is that we can, through the framework of, or the structure of this gathering, we can accomplish simultaneous focusing. And when there is simultaneous focusing from those like you who are powerfully wanting, then the vortex yields more, and more of you are receiving what you are wanting. So but that teacher, those friends, those people didn't have to go for your enlightenment. They just wanted to go, and it benefited you just like every other aspect of their life benefited you. In other words, a true teacher is of value to you under any and all conditions. Esther is discovering, and so are many friends, that Jerry is as valuable, if not more, from his non-physical perspective to her as he was when he was in his physical form. It's all about what she allows to happen with her own mind relative to it, you see.
I know that what's happening with me today, in a sense, was given to me by those three people.
But you see,
individually.
this is the thing that we really want to punctuate with this. When we say ask and it is given, that's true all the time, every time, no exceptions. So what is it that makes something like that make you receive more? In other words, it's always been potentially there for you to receive, but there's something that's changed in your expectation that makes you receive it more clearly.
Did you just say I'm waking up?
Yeah. Yeah. And
okay.
Sometimes it takes stuff like that to... Esther, every day she's talking to herself and to us and to Jerry and to anybody who has the tragic experience of wandering into her path, that she did not realize how dependent she was on Jerry for her joy. She sort of lived her life through his eyes, and as long as he was happy, she was really, really happy. And so once he was no longer there for her to play with in that way, she sort of had to wake up to things that matter to her. And as she is waking up to that, she is feeling better than she has ever felt. But it took a while before she could even admit that, because it felt like it was disrespectful to what was rather than just embracing the more of what is, you see. So, yeah, we are all in this together. And The source within you is working always, and working meaning focusing always, to assist you through the path of least resistance to get the most that you are wanting in any moment in time. All of you. All of you. There's never a moment that you should be depriving yourself of anything that you want. It should be a moment of clarity, or a moment of fun, or a moment of insight, a moment of some sort of satisfaction. That's the way it is supposed to be.
But can too much focus be constrictive?
Esther made a note to herself last night. She bought an app for her iPhone. It's really fun. It's called Flow. And it's dots that you line, and you can't leave anything open. And at first it's really easy, and then it gets more and more complicated. And Esther, she thought it out loud, and then she wrote it down because it tickled her so much to think it. She said, either these are getting easier, or I'm getting better at it. Either this game is getting easier, or I'm getting better at it. And when she wrote it, we said, isn't it the same thing? When you raise your vibration, isn't it easier, and aren't you better at everything? It's the same thing. So what made her better at it, and what made it easier? Focus, having fun with it. New insights started coming to her. New pathways started opening. And things that were scrambling her brain only yesterday just look like very easy things to solve today. So am I getting better at this, or is it easier? And we say it's exactly the same thing. When you start relaxing and trusting in your worthiness, which means expecting good things to come to you, then you open all kinds of doors that you had barred, and you let all kinds of unseen forces assist you in ways that you were preventing before. And you can call that waking up if you want to. We think it is the time of awakening. And what that means to us, if we were standing in your physical shoes, more than anything, is it's the time that I'm listening for my own alignment and not trying to seek alignment through any other means. And for Esther, the person she was seeking it through had to take off before she discovered it truly, you see. Now, we're not saying that that's why he left, but we are saying it was a big benefit to her.
Get that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. There is a lot happening in this room, isn't there?